I think we probably in the end spent about 3,000 euros on like furnishings.
Welcome to this week's video where we're giving you a recap.
Yeah.
For those of you who are new to us and for those of you who've been with us, some things that you haven't seen of what we've done with this old French farm over the last 6 months, because it is 6 months since we arrived.
Yeah.
Before we get into it, we should probably explain why we've done it the way we've done, because there are lots and lots of different versions of renovations and stuff, and maybe you're interested as to what we've done and why.
When we were looking for houses in France, and I'm sure anyone who's been through a renovation is in the same position, where you look at something and go, cool, this looks great, the renovation opportunity is brilliant, but how are we going to live here? Like, how are we going to do this?
Where do we sleep? Where do we cook?
Yeah.
Where do we hang out?
Where do we bathe? When we were looking, obviously I was pregnant with twins, and so for us the option of like a caravan or a static home just wasn't really the most practical option.
It was also going to be a financial outlay.
Yes.
That we might not get back when we want it.
So the route that we ended up going down was we rented for 1 month, we rented Airbnbs locally, and during that time we made the existing 3-bedroom house into something livable. I will say during that month we actually made 1 room and like a semi-bathroom and kitchen livable, but over that 6-month period we've made it into a comfortable 3-bed family home. It's by no means like our dream property. We want to do so much more to it, and we will do so much more to it, but it is a comfortable space right now.
It is. It took a little bit longer than we thought, but we've managed to, well, you'll see what we've managed to do. And if you'd like to find out perhaps what this cost us, then hang around to the end of the video and we'll drop some numbers on you. Off we go, let's renovate. Yes, stay straight on.
Yeah, they go very well with the last. Still learning. And you get to be like, oh, it's right.
Look at the view! When you actually like bring other people down here, you're like, oh, yeah, it's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Just a walk in a park where the world fades, and we're leaving our marks. They try to hold me down, tear me apart, but with you, baby, nothing seems so hard. They said I'd never make it, that I lost my spark, but you lost my compass, guide me through the dark. Stumble and trip, yeah, I'm
bit of wood. Wowza.
Okay, bathroom demolition time. Our job is to completely take this all out, and then we're basically going to build a false wall, well, a real wall, but not a permanent one, across here to try and keep it warm. So, drain number 1, can you really see down there? Oh yeah, okay, so that's a slant drain that runs then, oh, focus, there we go, that runs along here, and then down into drain number 2. There's a bit of stuff down there, that goes down to our septic tank, thank you very much, focus. Yeah, we could probably fit a collar in there, patch it up. We are not touching that right now. Not just yet. So, it's on. It is exactly where it needs to be. And you can sit on it and lean on it and it's fine. Yes!
Silent bagging. Helper number one.
Sorry.
And out here,
Right, I'm
shouting her
rolling
head
you.
off.
We're rolling you.
Helper number two, who's going to
We're
paint.
rolling you. Yeah, it matches your outfit, this roller. That, or did I paint you that colour? That's the question.
Loving it. Whereas this one's going to be doing some wonderful IKEA cabinetry whilst wearing all of the clothes. I am going to use the instructions because I can't be bothered to make a mistake in the first one, and then once we've got one down, it's fine. So they're, as usual, IKEA, beautifully laid out. Done this before. Dowels, dowels, dowels. Dowels, dowels, dowels.
What's happening here?
We're building a kitchen.
And when will my kitchen be ready?
Probably not soon enough.
And will it be full of chocolate biscuits
Yes, it'll be full of chocolate biscuits
and milk?
and milk and cookies, basically.
Woo!
The flu. You're going to go over here and have a nice sort of view of Chimney, me, and a Christmas tree as we go up through the roof over there. And that, ladies and gents, is Chimney. So, Jazz, what did this cost us? Apart from sanity.
Are you going to say your marriage?
No, I said sanity.
Our minds. Yeah, so this is something that we are quite comfortable sharing costs, because I feel like there are lots of renovation channels out there that are really inspiring and really amazing, but no one ever really says how they fund it, and it's just like confusing.
Everything seems achievable if somebody else is doing it, so you're like, yeah, great.
But there's like, they've got machinery and tools, and let alone like fancy kitchens and bathrooms and all these things. It's like, where does that money come from? How did you get there? So yeah, we thought we'd try and be a little bit more open and transparent as to how we got here.
We'll give you rough figures and our grand total, but tools wise we would have spent somewhere in the region of an extra 300 euros on tools compared to what we had previously, just replacing some bits that broken, consumables, things like that. Materials, it's hard to say. Wood, plasterboard, insulation, we spent between 500 and 700, somewhere along those lines, plus a bit more for screws and fixings and fastenings.
I think there's probably a grand realistically on materials.
Yeah, I'd say a grand on materials we did scrimp a bit, and we reused quite a bit of wood and stuff like that.
Yeah. Paint, like, don't underestimate that. It's super expensive, especially in France. I don't know if it's the same in other European countries, but in France it was at least triple the price for the paint here. So for paint, we bought all our paint in the UK for about £500 in the end. So that was enough to cover all the walls in the 3-bedroom house, plus kitchen, living, dining,
undercoat, top coat, wood. Paint was a big one, and one we thought about early. Kitchen.
So the kitchen was from IKEA, and we just painted all the doors and put nice handles on.
That was about 2,000 euros, bought from IKEA France. And then you add on your white goods, your hobby oven. We didn't go for the cheapest stuff, but dishwasher, oven, hob, fridge is another just under two.
£2,000, yeah.
Just under two, all in, including delivery.
Yeah.
4,000 euros on electrical adapters. That's what we spent. So the kitchen all in
was probably about 4,000 euros.
Yeah,
roughly.
Including handles, and we didn't do any floor and light fittings.
Yeah.
Then bathroom.
Again, here we have made a bit more of an investment, because we are definitely going to reuse these bits in the family bathroom in the house. So we went for quite nice, like sink, tap units with the like gold fittings and the bath itself and stuff. We also got a massive bath because we have to get 2 kids in there, and I like to lay down.
So the bathroom, if you take into account the washing machine, dryer, taps, tiles and all in, about £3,000 for the bathroom. Obviously we're not paying for labour on that because we fitted it ourselves, so that seems like a really cheap bathroom install.
And we also went for quite an expensive washing machine and dryer.
Yeah, which has been a godsend.
Yeah.
We also had to fix the drains a little bit, which had some external help, which probably cost another 300 in terms of call out fees and the guy with the big lorry. We had electrics and plumbing. Great electrician. We did this all very surface level. He checked the house, put in a couple of new connections, redid the box, made sure it's okay. 1,500 or so for electrician. About the same for our plumber, but that was a new hot water tank, boiler, and plumbing to all the new points we wanted in the bathroom and into the kitchen. Simple, but he did it in a day at a bargain price, relatively. Roof we had to fix as well.
Roof, oh yeah, I forgot about
the roofer, which was a saga in itself, and actually turned out to be brilliant in the end. £2,000 to fix the roof, which was not what we were expecting, and that's not completely done, so that's a cost on top.
Yeah, that was unexpected.
You've got to look out for all of these things. We condemned one room completely, didn't we? So that we didn't finish. Actually, we wouldn't have had enough paint to finish it. Didn't even start.
No, I did. I've got all special paints and stuff in there.
Alright, so we've got a little bit of money.
We'll use it
somewhere else. Living room.
Chimney.
So
I guess the living room in general, the main expenses in there were the new chimney, which was
1,500 euros.
Yeah, we installed that ourselves. And we also refurbished the existing like fireplace itself, the actual wood burner. Wow.
So I'm just watching a buzzard
That's huge.
fly really close to us. Can I just point out the sound that you're hearing is not a buzzard flying
that's
past,
like a
it's the plane
plane.
above us.
And then the actual wood burning stove was already in the house, and so we just refurbished that.
That chimney in the end was probably between 400 and 500 to repair that unit, which seems like quite a lot now. We probably could have just bought a
Well,
new
so it was about 1,800 to do the whole chimney.
Yeah,
repair.
1800 all on chimney for heating. That's
For
our
heating,
heating
that's
system.
the heating, yeah. I guess really the other main cost throughout the house, which you do need to factor in, was like curtains.
Yes.
We didn't have any blinds or curtains, so we had quite a lot of that to cover up. And then there was a few pieces of furniture that we were kind of missing.
We needed a sideboard.
Yeah, a sideboard.
Because you go in with your stuff and then you're like, well, actually, this is a different house to fit out. What are we missing? So don't forget that before you you could say, oh, it's all plastered and we can sit down on our chair, but that's not finished. So we want to be genuine about like, at this point, how much have we spent to get it to a comfortable place where we're not like, oh, we need to do that, we need to do that.
We don't have any blinds or something.
Yeah, actually, we don't have any
So
blinds. Yeah.
I think we probably in the end spent about 3,000 euros on like furnishings.
Jazz was in charge of that budget. I was not expecting that number.
Well, okay, maybe not. Well, we had to. Maybe not 3,000. Okay, but like all the curtains, there were like 100 for each curtain. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's like £1,000 on curtains.
I mean, this
all
is
the
the
poles.
shock reality. Yeah, it's £1,000 on curtains. No,
Maybe-
it's true, and this is not like
It was maybe
it's not-
maybe 2,000 euros on furnishings. I'd
Okay,
say.
that's still a big number
a lot.
considering when you move with like because we've got a bunch of rugs as well.
Yeah.
We've got
oh,
hard
yeah,
floors
true,
here,
yeah.
and we bought more rugs than we ever had before. We had quite a few rugs.
Yeah, and again, obviously, all these are investments. Like, it's not that these are one and done, and we're never going to use them again. We've actually specifically bought longer curtains than we need and things like
Yeah,
that, so
that
it
will
gives
go
us
on.
some flexibility.
It's nice to have a house where we've got the finish and the fittings that we're comfortable with for now.
Yeah.
It may, like you say, not be gold standard, but we have chosen not to live in a damp caravan in winter. And this being like the wettest winter in ages would have been crummy.
Yeah. And also, kind of like broader financials, we don't, as it stands, we don't have enough money to do all the work here that needs to be done. Like, we don't have enough money to renovate all the stables and make a gîte and do the house. And so we are going to rely on income from our work in order to be able to pay for that. So what we didn't want to be in a position of was like either huge financial pressure where we're going, I hate living in this caravan, this is awful, we're damp, we're wet, we're cold,
Yeah.
the kids are always ill, there's
We
mold
haven't got enough
everywhere,
money to
like,
finish it. Well,
you know, this is totally unenjoyable. And there would have just been this crazy pressure to get it done that would have, I think, in the end meant that the renovation would have suffered in like quality or scale or what have
this is
you.
the upcoming renovation.
Yeah, the upcoming one. We are living somewhere comfortable that we aren't desperate to be out of, so we can take our time a little bit more to earn the money and do the renovations properly and everything else.
Yeah, it's long-term project rather than like short-term. Let's get there. So we've just done our napkin maths. And what did we originally budget for this?
We budgeted 11,500 euros for the initial renovation of the 3 bedrooms.
Phase 1. And now we've totaled it all up. How much did we spend?
We spent about 15,500 euros.
30% increase.
The main factors in that were the roof, £2,000. That was, we weren't expecting to do that. at
Chimney.
all. Chimney, yeah.
That in itself counts for $3,500. Those two
So
factors
yeah,
together.
those factors, and then I think like furnishings, I haven't really accounted that. Like
That's
that
pretty
for-
good, actually.
We have a bit of a budget for the like next stage of the renovation. We've kind of eaten a little bit into that, but like we said, we will reuse lots of those materials and things.
And you know what? We're happy. That's like the most important thing with this. We're happy about the work we've done, where we've got to, and how it's kind of turned out.
Yeah.
Don't scratch beneath the surface too much, because it's We plastered over, literally plastered over the
I think
cracks.
we like give it a few years in that house.
It'll
and
be
we'll be
tired.
like, it'll be tired and in need of, it already is in need of renovation, so it's going to need it even more. But it's a nice base for the next few years and a good place for us to be while we get on with the next stage of our renovation, which is
those stables behind us. Oh yeah. So thank you very much for joining us here. I hope this has been informative and you've enjoyed a little look back, as we have, over the time we spent over the last 6 months making that place a really nice family home for us.
Yeah.
And we will see you next week.
maybe we'll have finished the wall.
Yes, let's finish the wall. Like, subscribe, please ring the bell. See you next Sunday.
Bye. Oh.
I'm keeping that in.